it makes me feel good, and I just love it.
A marching band when you got to meet 20 other people and automatically had friends.
I mean, you'll make music if you want to make music.
It's one outlet that I can go to, not only listening to music but playing it.
I really love music. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Hello, this is Kaylee Winpickler and Rachel Wilson reporting to you about the cuts at Walkersville High School. Last year, the music program took a devastating blow when 6 music programs were cut, leaving a teacher out of a job and a whole slew of musicians and theorists that were depressed to the nth degree. There was no big to-do about the fiasco except between members of the musical community. Music groups are much like sports teams. We too have our own competitions and are even competing with members of our own ensemble to better our positions. We become attached to our conductor, who resembles a coach, and we become attached to our ensemble as an athletic group becomes attached to its various members.
This hasn't just occurred in our school. Over time, the funding for the music program has fluctuated, but recently it has begun to decrease again. Since 2008, local government funding has decreased by 18%. Also, federal funding provides the least amount of money from all of the public funding agencies. We have interviewed some students who were affected by the cut. Let's hear what they have to say.
Since 4th grade, I've been in the Walkersville Orchestra. I've been playing the violin for 8 years now.
The only class I ever took was guitar, but I've been involved in the music department for the musicals for the past few years, so kind of peripherally involved.
It wasn't until 7th grade, about halfway through, that Mr. Musser came to me and asked me if I wanted to try out the cello. I said sure, and ever since I've now been involved in the orchestra.
3rd grade, I started in my elementary school choir, and I've been in choir ever since. So 9th grade, I joined choir again.
I was in concert band and marching band.
I was in chorus class my 9th and 10th grade years.
They pulled me out of choir class, the guidance office did, and they said to me, "We need you to pick a few more classes because music theory and choir were both cut." And music theory wasn't a popular class, so I was kind of expecting that one, and I was like, okay, I prepared myself for this. But then I realized the second part of her sentence was choir was cut. And I kind of looked at her like, did you say choir as well? And she said, yes, there have been multiple cuts in the school. And I got very angry.
I was pretty upset. Music has always been a part of my life, and I know part of many others' lives. So when I heard that could be taken away from someone, it just didn't feel right. I look around and see sports still completely active. I see the science department running like it should be, but then I hear that the music department is about to leave. It didn't seem fair.
I found out on Facebook some parents of students had posted stuff.
I was called into the guidance office, and Dr. Phoebus sat me down, and I was terrified because I was like, I had already changed my schedule a couple times before this because I knew about other cuts to some of the other courses that I wanted to take. And Dr. Phoebus sat me down and she said that I needed to pick out another class for my second period for second semester because orchestra was being cut. And I immediately had this sinking feeling in my stomach, and I wanted to cry right there and say, what?
I was in chorus class, and Rachel came back from the counseling center and said that she had to change her schedule because they had cut the chorus program.
Through Miss Schmidt and through Tyler Richmond, when I heard them talking about it one day.
The music department cuts have really affected us because we don't have a permanent director as far as someone in the music department. Our marching band director is a teacher here, but she's a special ed teacher, and so it's hard. She isn't always in the music room, and things are not as readily available as they used to be when you had the person directing also the music director.
There aren't as many classes, and so not as many opportunities for students to be involved in the music program.
I was a musician for 8 years, and it's one outlet that I can go to, not only listening to music but playing it. I know it helps me, and it's therapeutic for me.
Well, in my case, I was going to take music theory, I was going to take a guitar too, and I was going to aid and potentially one other class. But essentially, I didn't get any of those classes because they were all eliminated.
Originally had to change my schedule, and then after that, some of the classes that I picked, they didn't work with the new schedule, so I had to go in again and again and again. I changed my schedule a lot for this year to come up with the schedule that I have now, and I think that really took a toll on me. And also just not having the music in the school, because music is so important to me, I was really messed up by that as well.
Somehow we would find a way to bring orchestra back.
We basically went into Dr. Phoebus and we're like, really? What's going on? This needs to change. So she had us all write our names down on a piece of paper. And then I think a week later or something, we got a notice that orchestra was back.
Although these students were devastated by the cuts, they haven't lost hope.
Here are some positive things that music has brought to their
I
lives.
was like every other 6-year-old, I want to be a rock star when I grow up. The only thing about every other 6-year-old is that they grow out of that phase, and I just haven't. Music has always been a great passion for mine. I love music, and it's one thing that's always there for me.
It just makes me feel good. Like when you're upset, you can just listen to some really good songs and it'll make you feel better.
My parents have always loved music. My mother loved Enrique Iglesias when I was younger, and she used to listen to him all the time. And then over Christmas, she'd bake cookies to Rosie O'Donnell singing Christmas carols, and it was just always really good memories. I remember it was not necessarily allowed to like my dad's music because he liked rock, but I remember one day getting out of the car, and I looked at my sister and I told her, I like that song. And it was Danny California by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I remember that. And today, I listen to them all the time along with a ton of other rock bands. And on Pandora, there's been multiple songs that come up and I'm like, I remember this. And I'll look at it and I don't know the name, I don't know the band, but I remember hearing it. I know all the words. It was because of my dad. He was one of the big reasons why I got into music.
Now that I'm in college, music is still a part of my life. I practice the piano almost constantly. I still know many band and orchestra members, and I'm currently joining some of the groups at our college. Music has brought me many opportunities to play for other people and to kind of help spread out a little bit. It's a lot easier to meet new people when you have an icebreaker such as music. Not only that, but I've been presented with scholarships for music. So, on top of being able to play just for fun, it's actually earning me money.
Just because it's fun, if it's something that you want to do, then you should do it.
My best memory with music from high school was freshman year marching band, when you got to meet 20 other people and automatically had friends in all the different grades and knew that somebody was there. The best part of that was just making connections with other people.
Music is not just important to the people who were shown in these videos, it's important to the majority of the school.
So help us. Bring back our music program.
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 Bring back our music program.